In this case, you've been told to use mid-ordinate rule with 8 strips to evaluate the integral from 0 to pi 2d theta over cube root of 5 plus over 3 sine cubed theta. Are we together? So, you know, the first thing you need to know is that when you are looking for the area, you are integrating f of x dx, isn't it? When you are looking for the area, you are integrating f of x dx. In this case, we've been given the theta. So from here, when you have y to be a function of x, what does it mean? Where there is f of x, you put y. Meaning area is y dx. Are we together? I'm still explaining this concept. But instead of the x, we've been given the what? The theta. Meaning where there is x, you put theta, isn't it? Where there is x, you put theta. So are you seeing the area? The area is the integral of y d theta, isn't it? So what is happening here? It means the whole of this function which is inside here is the y. Are we together? So it means this integral from 0 to pi, then it is 2 over cube root of 5 plus, so the whole of that is y. What can you do to it? Maybe I can rewrite this one towards this end. 0 to pi 2 d theta over cube root of 5 plus 4 over 3 sine theta. So you can see here we've seen when you are getting the area, you are integrating f of x dx, isn't it? And you know y is a function of x. So it means where the f of x you put y. So you are integrating y dx. And you have from our problem we have the theta. Meaning x, anywhere you see x, you put what? We put theta. So it means in this form, the whole of this function is the y. So if you substitute the theta outside, how are you going to have it? It is going to be from 0 to pi 2 over cube root of 5 plus 4 over 3. Then you see sine cubed theta, that is where there is an issue. Sine cubed theta, you cannot evaluate that in a calculator. So because we are going to approximate using a calculator. So you know, sine cubed theta means that it is sine theta which has been cubed. This is the short form, isn't it? Are we together? That is the short form. If you have sine theta which has been cubed, it means sine cubed theta, not sine theta cubed. It is the sine which is cubed, not theta. Are we together? That is the short form. So it means it is 4 over 3, then sine theta, which has been cubed. Then the whole of this is with respect to what? Have you seen you've written in a manner that you are able to see what is equals to y? Are you seeing what we are looking for? Meaning we have y is the whole of this function, isn't it? Are we together? So y is, so come down here, those are just for explanation. We are rewriting it in a form which we are able to identify the y, isn't it? So y is what? Y is 2 over cube root of 5 plus 4 over 3, then sine theta all cubed, like that. If you go to the calculator and maybe you are looking for sine pi over 3, if you say sine pi over 3 cubed, you are not cubing sine pi over 3, you are cubing pi over 3, and you are definitely doing a wrong thing. Are you getting that? Are we together? Because the calculator, the moment you press sine, it will bring sine with a bracket like this, isn't it? When it brings sine with a bracket like this and you put maybe your pi over 3, then you close and you put 3, it means you've not cubed sine, you've cubed pi over 3, and that is definitely wrong. Are we together? That's why I'm saying you must start with an opening bracket, then you put your sine, the calculator will bring sine with this bracket, isn't it? Are you seeing this? Then you put your pi over 3. So when you lock this bracket, if you put your cube here, it means you are cubing pi over 3. So that is wrong. You must close this outer bracket is when you cube. This means you now cube sine. Are you getting the idea here? Are you seeing where people normally go wrong? Yes. I normally look at those gaps. It is what I put emphasis on. Are you getting that? So it means you are having 2 closing brackets because there were these 2 opening brackets. So you must have 2 closing brackets. When you have 1 closing bracket, you will be cubing pi over 3. Are we together? And that is absolutely wrong. Is that well understood? Good. Now we've seen how to write that sine cube theta in form. It is supposed to be translated the whole of that cubed. Is that okay? Now, after knowing the function we want to deal with, the next thing is to determine the value of h, isn't it? To determine the value of h. The value of h. So the value of h, you will check. You are starting from, let me do it rough here. You are starting from what? From 0, and you are ending at pi. Then you are told to use mid-ordinate rule with how many strips? Before I go to mid-ordinate rule, I need to have the intervals h before I know which rule. Whether it is mid-ordinate, whether it is trapezoidal, or whether it is simpson. I need to know the size of h. Are you seeing that? So you'll be told to use 8 strips, isn't it? Strips means parts, meaning you'll be told to divide it into 8 parts, isn't it? Divide it into 8. So you are starting from 0 to pi, and you'll be told to divide it into 8 parts. Those are 8 parts. Are we together? So the whole of this interval is what? It is pi minus 0. The whole of that interval is? So what is h? See, h is the whole of this length, which is pi divided by? You'll be told to divide it into 8 strips, meaning each strip is having its own interval. Are we together? Is that okay? So the whole of this is pi, but you want to divide this pi into 8 equal parts, isn't it? See, that is pi divided by into 8 equal parts. What do you get to be h? You are told in how many decimal places? You can choose your number of decimal places. Maybe let us talk about how many decimal places is good to work with, 3 or 4. So fix the calculator to 4 decimal places. You simply go to fix, then it will give the number of decimal places, then you select 4. So fix the calculator to 4 decimal places. So give me, what is pi over 8? Remember, one thing you also need to remember, you are dealing with the pi. And when you are dealing with the pi, what does that imply? Your calculator can never be in D. D means degrees. So if you put your calculator in D, and the question is dealing with the pi, then you are going to do a wrong thing. Are you getting what I'm saying? So your calculator must be in R for pi radians, because we are dealing with the pi radians, not degrees. When we are dealing with the degrees, the calculator is in D. Are we together? Yeah. But here we are dealing with the pi, meaning the calculator must be in pi radians, must be in R. Is that okay? The calculator must be in. That is the first thing you need to check. You need to check whether your calculator is in D or with R when a trigonometric function is involved. When a trigonometric function is involved, the calculator must be in pi radius because that interval will be given in pi. Are you see that? And pi radius is R. Have you done that? Go to mode and you change setup. Yours goes to the setup. Shift and go to setup. Radius is rad, number 4. It's written rad, isn't it? So rad, you select number 4. You will see on top of the calculator, R is, it is now displaying R, isn't it? Meaning the calculator is now in pi radians. Are we together? Now, having done that, so what is h? Come and tell me what is h now. H is pi over 8, because you divided the whole of this length into 8 equal parts, isn't it? What is pi over 8? Because pi is in the calculator, it is 3.14 something. So you simply press pi, divide by 8, you get the value. So there, what is it? Pi over 8 is 0.8, which is pi over 8 is 0.3937. So you found the value of h. Pi over 8 is the same as 0.3927. Are we together? Tuko pamoja? Now, after you found the value of h, is when you now go and check which rule am I dealing with, isn't it? Which rule am I? We are dealing with the mid-ordinate rule, meaning I need the ordinate in the middle. Are we together? So now you go, what did we say? So you use the first interval only. You use the first interval only. And in the first interval, it is starting from 0. Then your h you found is 0.392. Meaning the next value of x here will be what? So it will be 0 plus this, which is 0.392. This first interval only will give you the first x ordinate, isn't it? Mid-ordinate, meaning we need this ordinate in the middle. Are we together? Yes. So what is this mid-ordinate in the middle? Meaning you must know x naught, the value of x you are starting with. Are we together? We are not, our x naught is 0. is not 0 because we are not starting from 0. We are starting from our x0 which is in the middle. Are you seeing that? Because of the mid, meaning after knowing h, the next thing you need to know is x0. Yes. Good. The next thing you need to know is x. And how do you get x0? The first here is 0 plus h gives you the next value of x, isn't it? It's this. But now x0 is the middle, meaning the average, isn't it? So what is the average? The average is 0 plus 0.3927 divided by, you get that value in the middle, which is 0.1963. 0.1963. So you found x0. After you found x0, you know the last value of x will be less than pi because it is the ordinate in the middle. Because when you are dividing everything, yes, here was 0, here was pi. Meaning the last interval here, see, your last x value will be in the middle here. See, it will be a value less than pi. Meaning knowing that ordinate will be very easier. You don't even need to know. When it is mid-ordinate rule with 8 steps, you know there are 9, there are 8 ordinates, isn't it? Because the number of ordinates are the same as the number of steps in mid-ordinate because those ordinates are in the middle, isn't it? So it means the last ordinate there is going to be y7 because you are starting with y0. So you don't need to master that. It will come out by itself when you form a table, okay? Are we together? Don't waste your time mastering that. It will come out by itself. So you will only see it clearly when you know the value of pi. You know the value of pi is 3.142 something, isn't it? So it means the moment you will be noting down all the x values, when you reach a value which is greater than 3.1, meaning that value is outside. So the one which is less than is the last value, isn't it? Are we together? Yes. Let us form a table. So we know 8 strips. You form a table with 8 ordinates, isn't it? 8 strips in mid-ordinate means we need 8. In mid-ordinate, the number of ordinates are the same as the number of strips. So 8 strips, how many ordinates are those? 8. So can you form a table with 8 parts? That is another way of mastering. Meaning you can always master in whichever way, isn't it? Good. So 8 parts, divide this into 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you divided that into 8 parts. So the first part is what? X, x0. That is where you found x0. You must get x0 and h. Are we together? So here, h, you write h on top there. What did you get to be h? 0.3927. 0.3927. And what have you found to be the first middle ordinate? 0.19. Then you go to x1. So how do you get x1? See, it is x0 plus h. Are you seeing now what you are doing? Yes. x0 plus h gives you x1. What is that? 0.1963 plus 0.3927. What do you get? 0.590, isn't it? I am x2. See, x2 is x1 plus h to give you x2. It is the h you are adding to get the next ordinate, isn't it? See, it is this plus h to give you the next. Then it is this plus h to give you the next, isn't it? Are we together? Yes. So it is the h which is the same interval you are adding. Is that understood? Yes. Yeah. So your x1 plus h to give you x2. 0.9817. In other words, what are you doing? You just simply feed h as the answer. If you feed h as the answer, you have x0 plus answer, isn't it? No, you feed x0 as the answer. If you feed x0 as the answer, it will be answer plus 0.3927. Because this is now the same for all of them. So the moment you continue pressing equal sign, it will be giving you those values, isn't it? Are we together? Yeah. Good. I have moved to the next one. x3, x2 plus h, 1.374. 3, 7, 4, 4. Move to x3, x2 plus, that is x4. x2 plus h, x3 plus h.
1.7671.
767. x5. x4 plus h. x4 plus h, you get x5. That is 2.1598. 1598. x6. That is x5 plus h, and h you have is there, isn't it? You get
2.5525.
2.5525. Then x7. x7 is x6 plus h, isn't it? You get 2.9. 19452. See, you got that. So if you get x8, what do you get? x8 is 3.3. It is past pi. Meaning it is outside. That it is not needed, isn't it? So if you count these ordinates, how many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ordinates. 8 strips. In mid-ordinate rule, number of strips are the same as the number of ordinates. Are we together? Meaning you will be counting them, isn't it? Yes. Are we together? So that means when you have x naught, it means you can get y naught from x naught, isn't it? When you have x1, you can get y1 from x1, isn't it? When you have x2, you get y2 from x2. Is that okay? Yes. When you have x3, you get y3 from x3. When you have x4, gives you y4 because they are coordinates in a point. x0, y0. x1, y1, they are coordinates. Meaning when you have x0 value, it's giving you y0, isn't it? Coordinates. I move to the next one. x5 gives you y. x6 gives you y6, isn't it? And x7 gives you y. And you counted them, there are 8 ordinates as required. 8 strips in mid-ordinate rule, each strip has only one ordinate, meaning number of strips the same as number of ordinates. Are we together? So start. What was that? What was the equation relating x and y? So you have it there. Are we together? You have y is 2 over cube root of 5 plus 4 over 3 in bracket sine theta cube. So, you know very well your x's are there. Are the what? In this problem, x is the what? X is the theta. Is that okay? X is the? It's the theta value. So this your x0, y1, x2, x3, x4 will be theta 0, theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Are you getting the idea? Are we together? Yes. Yes. Okay? Yes, so you come here, you say theta 0 is the x0, theta 1 is the x1, theta 2 is the x2, theta 3 is the x3, theta 4 is the x4, theta 5 is the x5, theta 6 is the x6, theta 7 is the x7, because it's easier to work with xy coordinates, but you know your x here is theta. Are we together? So you've now seen the relationship, because you know from this equation whether this x is occupied by theta. So it means theta naught is the x naught. You've now formed that, isn't it? So now let us go. Your equation is here, you wrote it there. You had y was 2 over cube root of 5 plus 4 over 3 sine theta cubed like that. So look at this. When you have theta naught, meaning where there is theta, if you put naught, where there is y, you also put naught. Meaning when you are looking for y naught, this is the formula. Are you seeing? Then the next you move on. When you have theta 1, where there is theta, when you put 1, where there is y, you put 1. Meaning y1 will be given by that formula. Are you seeing what is happening? When you have theta 2, where there is theta, you put a 2, then it means you put 2 on y. Meaning when you want y2, you use that formula. Have you seen the idea? So let us start. Let us start with the theta naught. When you put naught there, you put naught in y. So what is y naught? Go to the calculator. 2 divided by cube root. Feed this in the calculator. When you want to feed that, you start by putting the fraction sign. This over this. Then on top there, you feed your 2. Then down here, you start by injecting the cube root. You know the calculator you should be using here. You should not be talking about that. just 2 in the numerator. I'm seeing we only add 2 in the numerator. Fill the formula 2 over cube root. That is not cube root. Are you seeing what you've done? You are pressing number 3, then putting square root. That is not cube root. A majority of you normally does that. I don't know why. That is 3 times square root, isn't it? Cube root, you go and press that symbol of cube root. It is always written x into something, isn't it? So it is there in the calculator. Yes. You shift, then you put the value 3 there for cube root. You see what is happening? It is 2 over. Where is the symbol for cube root? See this one? See the shift. You shift, then you get it. Then that is cube root. It's even there direct. But sometimes it will not always be cube root. When it is what about the power form? Look at this. Are you seeing this one is x raised to power anything? Are you seeing this one here? Cube root for any root. This one is used for any root, isn't it? Meaning you shift and you press it. Then you put 3 there for cube root. Then you go inside. You see that? And you do the same. Do the same, do the same. So, a lot of you like doing this thing very simple. This is what a lot of you normally do. Look at this, look at this. This is what those who have problem doing this thing at once does. This. Look here. You've done the right thing. So look here. This is what you do. You start by this side, isn't it? You know your calculator is in pi radians because these values are pi radians, isn't it? Your calculator must be in R. Tuko pamoja. Then you start by looking for this side theta naught, isn't it? You press in the calculator sine. What is your theta naught? Sine 0.1963. Are we together? You find the answer to be what? You find the answer to be 0.1950, meaning you found sine theta naught, isn't it? Then you cubed it, because you cubed the answer cube, because it is raised to power 3. When you cube it, it's equals to what? The calculator gives you 0.0074, isn't it? Yes. After cubing it, you multiply it by 4, then you divide by 3, isn't it? Then it is times 4. You are moving stepwise. Times 4, you get that, then divide by 3, because it is times 4 divided by 3, isn't it? You've got that. Then you now add it to what? Then it is now plus 5. You get the answer to be that. Are you seeing? Then you are now looking for the cube root of the answer. And the symbol for getting the cube root, you can see there is that way where you put x to that. If you shift it, you get the one for the roots, isn't it? The root can be 4th root, can be 5th root, can be cube root, isn't it? Because not always it will be cube root. Sometimes it will be higher root, isn't it? So you shift, then you press that, then you enter 3 for cube root, isn't it? Then you press this forward button to go inside, then you put answer, because you're looking for the cube root of answer, isn't it? The calculator gives you what? 1.7? 1. Then now you say 2 divided by the answer you have, isn't it? 2 divided by the answer you have, the calculator will give you 1.16. That one, if you have a problem pressing calculator. But if you don't have a problem pressing calculator, you come here and you start by putting the fraction. When you put the fraction in the numerator, you put your 2 in the, then you press this scroll button on the down one to go to the numerator, then you press the cube root. You go and shift this key to give you all the roots, isn't it? So when you shift it, you go under there, under the root there, you put 3 for cube root, isn't it? Once you put 3, then you press there, you scroll forward, isn't it? When you go inside, you have 5, isn't it? Then plus, then you have your fraction. Your fraction there is, you put the symbol for fraction, then 4 on top, 3, then you move forward, isn't it? Are you seeing what I'm saying? What I'm doing? These are the scroll buttons. These are the ones which tell you whether you are moving up or below or forward, isn't it? Are we together? Then in front of it, you start with an opening bracket. If you don't start with an opening bracket, you are going to get it wrong. Are you getting that? Because that side is inside the bracket is what is cubed. So you put an open bracket, then sine what? Sine theta naught. Then you put the value of theta naught. It's 0.1963. Then you close bracket from sine theta naught. Then you you close another bracket, because you can see here the calculator is starting with the bracket, then it means you close with the two brackets. See there? Because the calculator started with the bracket for sign again, meaning you open the two brackets, the bracket which was closing sign and the bracket which is in front of sign, meaning you are going to close two brackets. If you close one bracket, you are only cubing this theta value, but you are supposed to cube sin theta, meaning you must close two brackets for you to close this outer one. Are we together? So if you close the second bracket for the outer one, it means you are now cubing the whole of that, then you cube it. You press that button for x raised to power, then you put 3 for cube. If you press answer, it is giving you 1.1688. See, that is the same thing we got. Now if you want y1, it is now simple. This is what you do. You replay the formula. You use this button to replay. Then you edit the value of x naught to be x1. Now you see, you use these buttons, any of them, but you know this one is the one for moving backward, isn't it? You move with it backward until it takes you where there is that value. Until you are at that value of x naught, which was 0.1963. So you delete that value, 0.1963. Once you delete it, you now put the value of x1 there. Are you see what I'm doing? You put the value of x1, which is 0.55890. Then you press is equals to what? The calculator gives you the answer, 1.1523. Then you go scroll with this key again, then you delete that value of x1, you put the value of x2. Are you seeing what I'm doing? The formula you've already placed there, what you are doing is now editing the value of x's to give you the value of y's. See there? Because the formula is the same for all of them. What you are editing is there, if you put 1, it means you are getting y1. Are you see? Meaning here, if you put 2, you are getting y2. So this value of sin theta, this value of sin theta there, the value inside that theta 2 is, that theta value is what you are editing only to get the y's, isn't it? Are we together? Continue editing. So if I go there and I edit the value of the next value there, theta 3, we are in theta 2, which is 0.9817. The calculator here gives me 1.1551153. Senor, 115. You go to the next one, you go back until you reach that your theta, you edit it, you move back. So I delete that value, 0.9817, I delete it. Once I delete it, I put this value, which is 1.3744. What do I get? The calculator giving me 1.0853. Are you continuing with the same procedure? Continue. Where is the formula? Don't delete the formula. Continue. Start. I want to see. Insert the formula. You put the fraction on the top. We have a 2. Then you move this one for going downwards, isn't it? Then you want cube root. This is the symbol of cube root. This one here. It is for any root. So you shape. You see it's having that color of shape. You shape to get it, then you put 3 there. You see when the calculator is breaking, is where you put your 3 there for cube root. Then you move forward. You see you move forward, the calculator is breaking inside. What do you put there? 5. Then it is plus. 4 over 3 is a fraction. You press the symbol of fraction. You see. Then on top, you put 4, then you scroll for the down part. You put 5. It is 3 years old. You delete. You put 3. Then you press this to move forward. Because you want to put something in front of it there. So you see. Then in front of it, you start by opening the bracket. See there? Then you put sign. Then you see inside that sign, what do you put? You put the value of the first one. The first one, theta naught is 0.1963. Then you close the bracket. That one you close the bracket for the inner bracket. Then you close the outer bracket for this outer one. Because it is that outer bracket which is cube. When you just close one bracket like that, and you cube, it means you cube this one. When you need to cube that one, you need to cube the other way. So you have to close two brackets. You see? Then this raised to x raised to means you put the power there. When you press it, you put the power. Which power is there? Power 3. So when you press equal sign, you get the answer. 1.6916. into 4 decimal places. There we are, I'm getting 1 point. Okay, you fix, you go to shape, then set up. This one is just going to I'm going to need decimal mark. I'm getting 1 point. What do you have there? Q. You see, this is x raised to power. You see, when you shift, you go to Q, you just press it. Then you put the value. This means x raised to any power because it will not necessarily be Q. Sometimes it will be raised to power 5. Sometimes it will be raised to power 6 in that order, isn't it? Are we together? Did you get these values for the y naught? So, if you check that value, it is 5 plus 4 over 3 into sine 0.19. Oh, your calculator is in degrees. That is why you are getting the wrong thing because these are pi radians. Your calculator must be in R. Your calculator must be in R for the pi radians. So this is D. For degrees, and we are dealing with the pi radians R. So where is your R in this calculator? Angle unit radian number 2 R. You see it's now in R. You press it to get the right answer. 1.16. 18. So give me, what have you found in Y4? What's the name of this? Continue. What have you found in Y4? 1.0? 85? It is the same as Y4. Y3. I go to the next one. Y5 you found 1.1153. 1153. Y6 you found to be 1.1? 1.52. Y7, what have you found? 1.1? 688. Like that. So here, when now you want to see, you found the value for it. Now when you want to now use this, any scroll button until you edit this one, because this was theta not, isn't it? When you edit it to be theta 1, you will be getting y1. So you press this one, are you seeing you press until you go back where it is? Until you reach where it is, you go back, you delete. So when you delete it, which value of theta? 8. 5, 8? 90. Then you press the answer, you get the value of that y1. So we've now found all y's. Are we together?
Yeah.
Is there anybody who still have a problem with getting these values?
No.
You are okay, isn't it? So you now write the formula for the mid-ordinate. So what is the formula of finding the area of the mid-ordinate rule? It is h into the sum of the ordinates, isn't it? See, the mid-ordinate was h, then trapezoidal half h, then Simpson's at third h, isn't it? Are we together? So it is h into the sum of ordinates. Ordinates start from y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 plus y6 plus y7, because our ordinates are reaching y7, isn't it? Are we together? Now from there you write is equals to what? You don't come here and start substituting this one because you already have them here. And your h you already have on top here. So that is the work of the calculator. Then you write the answer. You see? Are we together? Yes. That is the work of the calculator. Don't come here and start saying H is here, 0.3927, then in bracket Y0 is here, 1.1688 plus Y1 is here, 1.1523. That is the work of the calculator. Your work is to write the formula and have the values, then the calculator gives you the answer. Are you seeing that? You don't do this substitution. This is now you are now wasting time, okay? Are we together? Yes. That is now work of the calculator. So go to your calculator and put the value of H. What is H? 0.3927, then open bracket and start putting the Y values. Start putting the Y values, H inside bracket. The first Y value is 1.1688 plus Y1 is 1.1523, Y2 is 1.1153, Y3 is 1.0853 plus Y4 is 1.0853 plus Y5 is 1.1153 plus Y6 is 1.1523 plus Y7, the last one, 1.1688. Is equals to what? So we are getting the answer to be 3.5513. And that is the approximated area under this curve with the mid-ordinate rule. So you've evaluated that integral with the mid-ordinate rule. Yes.
Can we write the answer to be 3.5513 square units? Because of this area.
Square units. Yes, you can write square units, but the reason why I normally avoid you from writing the units, because there are some cases you find, maybe there was a problem, you were working in meters, then at the end you write centimeter, maybe you are getting a volume and the values you were given in meters, isn't it? Then in the end you end up writing centimeter cube for the volume. So you see you get it wrong, but the person who left the units get it right. Are you seeing the idea? We know it is the area, we know it is the square unit. Just write the area, forget about those square unit things. Yes. Are we together? Yes. We know it is square units. Because that is normally bringing confusion when you are now given those units, isn't it? Very many cases. Maybe you've been told to find the volume of a given figure, isn't it? And maybe this figure you were given in maybe meters. It was in meters. Then when you go there, then you now you find yourself writing centimeters cube, isn't it? You get it wrong, while the person who wrote it without that unit get it right. Are we together? Yes. Very good. Yes.